What if the jet everyone called past its prime just became the scariest thing in the sky? Meet the F-15EX Eagle II, a non-stealth bruiser that can haul 22 air-to-air missiles, sprint like a pure fighter, and outrange almost anything you'll face. In the next few minutes, I'll show you why the US is betting big on this upgrade, how one silent change under the hood rewrites the playbook, and the moment that proves the Eagle's legacy isn't over, it's entering its most dangerous chapter. In the world of modern air combat, stealth may grab headlines, but endurance, payload, and adaptability win wars. For decades, the F-15 has been the ultimate symbol of American air dominance. It's fast, it's fierce, and it has never lost a single dogfight in its entire combat history. But after 40 years in service, most people thought the Eagle's story was over, until the US Air Force quietly revealed its successor, the F-15EX Eagle II. A fighter built not to replace stealth jets like the F-35, but to complement them with raw power, range, and a record-breaking weapons load. So, what makes this jet so dangerous that even America's enemies are paying attention? Let's dive into the untold story of how a Cold War relic became the future of aerial warfare. To understand why the F-15EX even exists, we have to rewind to the late stages of the Vietnam War. Back then, US fighter pilots faced a brutal reality. The era of brute force speed was over. Their jets, like the F-4 Phantom, were fast but clumsy, built to intercept bombers, not dual nimble MiGs over the jungle. That failure triggered a revolution. A strategist named John Boyd developed the energy maneuverability theory, proving that agility and sustained power, not just speed, win dogfights. His ideas gave birth to a new generation of fighters designed to outthink and outmaneuver the enemy. The result was the F-15 Eagle, a jet so advanced when it first flew in 1972 that it redefined air superiority for the next half-century. Twin engines, over-the-shoulder missile locks, a thrust-to-weight ratio above 1.1, meaning it could literally accelerate vertically. And it worked. The Eagle became undefeated in aerial combat, earning its legend through sheer dominance. But legends age. By the 2010s, America's F-15 fleet was tired. The Air Force had fewer than 200 stealth F-22 Raptors, and F-35 production was behind schedule. So rather than retire the Eagle, Boeing proposed something bold: rebuild it from the inside out. That's how the F-15EX Eagle II was born. An aircraft that keeps the classic frame, but reinvents everything else. The F-15EX Eagle II isn't just an upgrade, it's a full-scale resurrection. On the outside, it looks familiar. The same razor-edged wings, the same imposing twin tails. But under the skin, it's a completely different beast. Boeing didn't just refresh the design, they rebuilt it for the 21st century battlefield. This new version can fly 20,000 hours before retirement, double the lifespan of the older F-15C models. It's packed with a next-generation AESA radar, an advanced electronic warfare suite, and fly-by-wire controls that replace decades-old mechanical systems with lightning-fast digital precision. And then there's the cockpit, a futuristic command hub. Two massive touchscreens dominate the panel, feeding the pilot real-time battle data, sensor fusion, and even AI-assisted target tracking. It's like flying a supercomputer armed with missiles. But here's where things get wild. The F-15EX can carry 22 air-to-air missiles at once. That's more than any other fighter jet on Earth. In a single sortie, it can defend an entire formation, overwhelm enemy defenses, or launch a long-range missile swarm before stealth aircraft even enter radar range. Stealth fighters like the F-35 may hide. The Eagle II owns the sky by brute force. And that balance, visibility versus dominance, is exactly what makes it so dangerous. For years, the US Air Force was caught between two worlds: old jets it couldn't retire, and stealth jets it couldn't build fast enough. The F-22 Raptor, America's crown jewel, was so expensive that production stopped after only 187 units. The F-35 Lightning II, though powerful, came with its own issues: maintenance costs, limited payload, and short range compared to legacy fighters. That left a massive gap, one the F-15EX was born to fill. It's not a replacement for stealth. It's a bridge between stealth and strength. The heavyweight partner that handles what stealth fighters can't. Think of it like this. While an F-35 sneaks into enemy territory, the F-15EX stays just outside, acting as the arsenal ship of the sky. It carries the missiles, provides electronic cover, and keeps hostile aircraft miles away. And because it uses the same maintenance infrastructure as older F-15s, the Air Force didn't need to reinvent the wheel. Pilots already trained on the F-15 could transition to the EX in a matter of days, not months. That saves billions in logistics and keeps squadrons combat ready. The result? The F-15EX gives America an instant power boost, faster deployment, bigger payloads, and a proven frame ready for modern warfare. It's not just a jet, it's a statement. We can evolve faster than you can replace us. Speed, range, payload. Those three words define the Eagle Delta II's DNA. At its heart are twin Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines, each capable of pushing nearly 29,000 pounds of thrust. That gives the jet a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than 1.1, meaning it can climb straight up like a rocket, even when fully loaded. With conformal fuel tanks hugging its fuselage, the F-15EX can fly well over 1,000 miles without refueling. That's nearly double the combat radius of many stealth fighters. And when it does need to refuel, it can do so mid-air, extending its reach far beyond most enemies' radar coverage. But power isn't everything. Precision matters. The F-15X carries an open mission systems architecture, basically the plug-and-play future of air combat. Need new missiles? Add them. New radar software? Upload it mid-mission. This adaptability means the Eagle II can integrate hypersonic weapons, new electronic countermeasures, and future drone coordination systems, all without major redesigns. In simple terms, this is a fighter built not just for today's wars, but for tomorrow's unknowns. It's modular, lethal, and ready to adapt faster than the battlefield can change. On paper, the F-15EX Eagle II looks like a 1970s fighter, but in the air, it behaves like a 2030s Predator. Its most frightening quality isn't stealth, it's sustainability and firepower at scale. Where stealth jets rely on being unseen, the EX dares the enemy to look. It can carry 29,000 pounds of ordnance across 14 hardpoints, enough to dominate both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions in the same flight. From long-range AIM-120 AMRAAMs to bunker-busting bombs, it can switch roles mid-mission without landing. And then comes the secret weapon, the Eagle Passive Active Warning and Survivability System, or EPDWSS. It can detect and jam enemy radar, scramble missile guidance, and even trick targeting systems into locking onto ghosts. In short, the F-15EX can fight back without firing a shot. Pair that with the new Amber missile racks, and you get a monster that can unleash 22 missiles in a single engagement, a record unmatched by any other aircraft. Imagine an enemy pilot seeing a blip on radar, thinking it's one fighter, and then watching 22 missiles arc toward them before they can blink. That's not just air superiority, that's air intimidation. And in modern warfare, fear is a weapon all its own. The F-15EX isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a strategic signal. When a country fields an aircraft with unmatched payload and open upgradability, rivals don't just take note, they change plans. First, deployment. The Air Force began receiving EX aircraft to replace aging F-15CD units, prioritizing homeland defense and key regional hubs. The first operational squadrons are positioned where range and payload matter most, places that need long patrols, rapid intercept capability, and the ability to carry lots of ordnance without frequent landings. This makes the EX ideal for protecting remote outposts, escorting long-range strike packages, and serving as a forward arsenal for Allied forces. Video transcript second, The diplomatic ripple effects. Allies who rely on American air power suddenly get access to a platform that can act as a force multiplier. Partners without stealth fleets can still boast a modern, hard-hitting fighter that complements coalition operations. Conversely, adversaries must plan not only for stealth penetration, but for what happens after stealth assets expose themselves. The EX can turn exposure into a kill window. That changes deterrence math. Video transcript third. The controversy. Critics point to the EX's non-stealth profile and ask whether investment should instead go to more F-35s or future 6th-gen designs. There are 3 practical counters to that critique. Economics and speed. Producing more EXs leverages existing logistics and trains to field capability quickly and cheaper than waiting for newer stealth fleets. Complementarity. The EX was designed to work with stealth, not replace it, acting as an arsenal and sensor node, while stealth jets do the high-risk penetration tasks. Upgrade path. With an open systems architecture, the EX can absorb new tech. EW suites, hypersonic weapons, drone controllers, far faster than ground-up designs, narrowing future capability gaps. Video transcript. Finally, long-term implications. The F-15EX signals a shift toward mixed-force architectures, pairing a few high-cost stealth penetrators with a larger fleet of high-end, heavily armed arsenal fighters. In many ways, the X is insurance. If adversary counter-stealth measures mature, the US still fields aircraft that dominate by payload, range, and electronic warfare. That's a strategic choice as much as a tactical one. And it's why this jet matters beyond specs. The F-15EX Eagle Taposuru isn't just a comeback story. It's a preview of the next era of aerial warfare. While 6th-generation programs like NG-8 are still in development, the EX is already bridging the gap between today's jets and tomorrow's systems. Its open mission system means the Air Force can plug in next-generation tech, AI-assisted targeting, swarm drone control, and hypersonic missile integration, all without waiting for a new jet to roll off the line. In fact, tests are already underway to equip the Eagle II with Mach 5+ hypersonic weapons, giving it strike capability no enemy fighter can currently match. And that's the secret. The F-15EX isn't fighting to replace the F-35 or the future NGAD. It's fighting to keep America dominant right now, while paving the runway for what comes next. In a world where stealth can be detected, where electronic warfare clouds the skies, and where speed and range decide survival, the Eagle's formula still works. Hit harder, fly farther, adapt faster. The Eagle F-15 is proof that sometimes evolution beats revolution, and that the king of the skies never truly abdicated his throne. He just came back stronger. Picture this, a calm blue sky over the Pacific Northwest. Then a roar cuts through the clouds. 2 F-15X jets streak past, sunlight glinting off their twin tails. They're carrying more firepower than an entire Cold War squadron. And yet, they move like predators on the hunt. For decades, the Eagle was the undefeated guardian of American airspace. Now, reborn as the Eagle II, it's not just protecting the skies. It's defining the future of them. Every rivet, every engine note, every sensor ping says the same thing. We're not done yet. In an era obsessed with stealth, one fighter dares to stand tall, visible, loud, unstoppable. Because it doesn't need to hide to win. That's the moment the Eagle II reminds the world that air superiority isn't about disappearing. It's about dominating. The F-15X Eagle II isn't just a jet. It's a statement. A message that technology can evolve, legends can return, and power doesn't always need to hide behind stealth. As new threats rise and the skies grow more crowded, the Eagle II stands ready, a bridge between generations, a war machine built on decades of lessons, and proof that sometimes the best way forward is to upgrade the past. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm you want more deep dive military stories like this. And if you love learning how innovation, engineering, and history collide in machines like the F-15EX, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's next. because in the next episode, we're taking flight again. This time into a jet that could replace the Eagle entirely. Stay sharp, stay curious, and as always, keep your eyes on the skies. Soft cinematic tone fades in, engine rumble building under the narration. The F-15EX doesn't whisper. It announces itself, a living reminder that air dominance isn't a trend, it's a tradition. Every upgrade, every bolt, every mission it flies says one thing loud and clear. Legends don't retire, they evolve. Beat. If you stayed to the end, you're exactly the kind of mind this channel was built for. So here's your mission. Drop an emoji in the comments if you believe the Eagle still reigns, and I'll see you in the next flight briefing. Because the story of air power, it's only getting started.